Okay, it says we're on the air.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
All of a sudden, it said add Chrome, like the Chrome extension.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I don't want to do that. And then I clicked off to this other one and it said on air.
Okay.
All right, well let's just play like this is for real.
All right, let's go.
All right, welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraff.
And I'm Cathrine, co-host and bestie.
We are in the Pod Lab, recording live, we hope.
Yeah, hopefully somebody will let us know. Can you see the comments? Because of course I can't.
It says no fan engagement yet.
Come on, Kenny.
But just tell them to text your phone, because here's the thing. We're recording, today is Wednesday, it's May 29th, 2024. Most of the time we drop an episode at noon, but Kat was not available today, and so we were not able to do that. And so I had said, well, why don't we just do a live show, and then we don't have to edit it. Because I'm a big fan of the easy way. But we don't really know what we're doing.
Though. Right. I'm on Podbean right now, and I don't...
Can you find our show?
Well, yeah, it pops up, but I don't see it live.
Well, click on the show and see.
Go
to my website and see if that link that Olivia put in, see if the link works.
Okay. Actually, I gave the link to Kenny, so I will pull it up that way.
Okay. Now, it says I can add a host. Invite via link. Okay. Copy. I copied.
Accept preferences. Join our live show and engage.
Oh,
but
somebody's there. We have one listener.
Oh, good.
That's
Who
great.
Might it be?
They're gonna leave. You watch.
Right.
They're gonna leave. Don't leave us. Okay. It says you're live casting in another browser window. I'm doing two lives. I don't know.
I think maybe I accidentally did something.
Really? Huh.
I don't know. That we don't.
Okay, here's what's happening to our one listener. Oh wait, she went away. Oh no, she didn't. She's still there.
It's Ken. Kenny said it's Kenny.
Oh, hi, Kenny.
But
he said it's Kenny.
Okay, so he can hear our voices right now.
It's our anniversary today.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, thank you.
Kat and Kenny.
So Kenny, let us know if you can hear our voices.
He says yes, I can hear you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Don't leave us.
Don't leave us, Kenny.
It's just us.
Remember that card I gave you?
Why are things so hard?
I don't know.
All of this makes me crazy.
Yeah. Kenny, can you ask us
a question on the
Podbean? Something in there. It says online 2 and total 4, so I more than Kenny. If anybody can hear us, is anybody out there? Does anybody care?
Kenny's like me. Celebrating our anniversary with Tracy.
Celebrating your 31st anniversary with me.
Tracy. That's funny.
We gotta get Muffin in here.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
All right. Well, I know this is recording, and we're gonna drop it into our show, repertoire, so people will be able to listen to it later.
Yeah.
But please, for the love of all things that are holy, if anybody can hear my voice, comment somewhere.
Gosh. Yes.
I'm not even sure. Let me see if I can add the comment thing.
Life Happens, Laugh Anyway joined the room.
Okay, hold on.
And so did this person.
Yeah. So you can see it there?
Uh-huh.
Okay, call in. Okay, it says call-ins are enabled, so people could call in.
Kenny joined the room.
Okay.
Okay.
You can add sound effects.
Oh my gosh. do something like, wow. Oh, that's awesome.
Listen to this. You can add laughter.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm like,
oh yeah, people. We're gonna lose people
for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. Well, we see that these have joined the room, but now how do we see their comments?
I don't know.
Oh gosh.
You will be able to hear your own voice in your headphones after you turn it on. Well, I hear my own voice now because we're going through the Scarlet.
Oop.
Okay.
Okay. Well, why don't we
get to our questions?
Yeah, why don't we do that? And then if we see some pop up, we'll just interrupt ourselves and
again
take the questions.
Okay, take 2.
All right.
The reason why we're doing this particular episode is because we've started to do Q&A at the end of my comedy show.
Right.
I think we've done like 3 of them or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really been fun, and it's added a lot to the show.
Yeah.
It brings the audience in to the show.
Yeah, and I think they like that.
I think they love that.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do in a live comedy show, at the end of the show, everybody's been given a little slip of paper, and they write down their question, and then Cathrine screens the questions, and then she asks them to me live on stage, and then I answer them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're just going to recreate that. Oh, now I can see that Kenny's there. I see his name now.
Yeah. Oh, I do too.
Hello, Kenny. And I see like little hearts and such.
Oh, Kenny asked.
Okay.
He's got a question.
Okay, what's the question?
Out of the 20 plus years you have been friends, what is the funniest thing that has happened to you?
Wow. Oh, so many.
Pretty sure that's from Kenny.
Well, this is pretty funny right here.
One thing that pops into my mind, and I don't know, it's not something that happened to him. Well, I guess it was. We were garbage hunting, driving around, just garbage hunting, which was really an excuse for just talking and look at her. Yeah. And that we got pulled over in was it, what's it called? Not Malibu Landings.
Oh, Gull Landings.
Yeah, Gull Landings.
In our town,
right?
Piatone, Illinois.
We got pulled over, and you decided to start filming the cop.
I did.
And I was like, don't do that. And you're like, oh. And you had your phone in such a way that you were aiming it toward the mirror.
Yes.
And that was so funny. I remember just laughing so hard.
Because the tension, we felt like little girls that were in trouble.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
one of the funny.
I thought you were going to say the time that it was freezing cold out, and you remember that big old heavy desk?
Yes. How could I forget?
We pull over, and Cathrine goes, "Is it heavy?" And I go, "No."
Yeah.
But I had only lifted up one little corner of it. It was.
I don't even know. Did you even? I just thought you kind of.
I don't
rocked it.
I don't know what I did.
Yeah, I'm like, it's extremely heavy.
Yeah, and oftentimes when we garbage picked, we haven't been garbage picking much lately.
No, I miss it though.
Yeah, well, we should go again. It's fun because we would pick stuff and bring it home and then put it out in our own garbage.
Right. Get tired of it. Like, yeah, we're not going to do anything with that.
It's disposable. It's like a paper plate.
Yeah.
I used it. I'm done. Right?
Remember that Barbie doll or Ken doll?
Yes.
That
we found in the garbage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny.
Remember those kids that were walking in Piatone and were like, "This is our garbage."
Yeah. Don't touch this. That's when I was like, wow, Tracy.
I know. It was
you gave them the mom, like.
I know. It was like gang turf. Like, this is our turf. You get your own block. Idiot.
The gangs of Piatone.
And we didn't even want the stuff. It was just real garbage. It was just
kind of like, well, we were here first. Idiot.
And then wait. Remember the time that we got the couch?
Yes.
This beautiful couch.
Yeah, like an Ethan Allen couch.
Yeah, and it was like brand new, and this guy was throwing it away because his friend didn't come back and pick it up after he had stored it at his house.
Yeah.
And so it was a nice couch. It wasn't like, garbage couch.
Right.
And we were taking it.
And we were out of town at the time. Like, we lived out of town.
Yes, we did.
So that meant one of us had to stay back. I think it was you.
Yeah, I sat on the couch. And I waited until our husbands could get there.
Yes.
With some kind of, I don't know what, trailer. I thought it was a trailer or something I think Kenny came with a trailer.
Yeah, we had a trailer.
And then we hauled it, home and we sold it.
And somehow got it to the store.
I know, yeah. And we sold it and we actually used the money for missions. Remember when we were sponsoring people for missions?
That's right. I think it had a pull-out bed in it.
It did. That's why it was heavy.
Yeah. Gosh.
I know.
Oh, someone's doing the heart thing.
Oh, hello, heart thing.
Oh,
Thank you.
I wish I knew who it was. It's a bunch of letters, so I don't know who it is.
It's
FVIE.
Yeah, YKBT. Whatever.
Okay.
Okay, well, somebody else asked a question. Did Kenny's question come through Podbean?
I see it on here on Podbean, yeah.
Oh, I wonder why.
And this other person. Okay. So Kenny also says, another question.
Okay.
When you two are driving to places, who actually knows where they're going?
It's Catherine. Catherine, when we go on a trip, she's already looked at where we're going. I have not at all.
Yeah.
And she's got it on GPS, but she's also got it written down.
On paper.
Yes, and she has an atlas.
Yeah, I like to follow the map because, well, you live and you learn. I like it anyway, but I think it's a very good bet. I mean, the GPS has really got us messed up before.
Oh, for sure. Where we get sidetracked is on our little excursions. Like, Catherine she has a sixth sense. Kenny, you know this. You just spent 6 days celebrating your anniversary.
Right.
And you went to every thrift store and Goodwill. And of course, I know that he mapped it out.
Yeah, he did.
Well, when we're on the road and we don't know where they are, it's like Catherine will just be going, I smell it. I smell Goodwill.
Kenny did say, he's like, wow, you really can spot the resale places.
Yeah. Kind of know, like, if there's a Walmart and a Cracker Barrel, there's a Goodwill somewhere. Yeah. That type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been times when we have pretty much skidded off the highway to catch Goodwill.
And then there's been times when like, I'm not so sure this is a good area.
That happened in Virginia recently. When we were in Virginia, remember we kept driving? And as we're driving, we're trying to get to this thrift store.
And
all
we
of
see
a sudden,
bars on the...
Right. We're like liquor store,
pawn
shop, gambling, no cops.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kenny says, while she went indoors, he put the GPS to the next
one. That's nice.
Yeah.
Got yourself a nice food.
No.
Very, very good. Okay, fun.
So another question that we have here, or I don't know, did we even get to a question? I don't think we did.
We got to Kenny?
I know.
Keep asking them, Kenny. If you got more, just...
All right, let's see. Oh, here's one.
Okay.
How did you come to know God? Was it because of raising 5 sons?
Oh, that's such a good question. Was it because of raising 5 sons? Thankfully, I got to know God when I was a 19-year-old college student at Western Illinois University, and I met a group of students, a bunch of students who were involved in various ministries. One was in like just solo ministry, and the others were in this thing called the Navigators, which is like a parachurch ministry that is on college campuses and also on naval bases and military bases and things like that. I just recognized in them that they knew that they had eternal life. Like they knew they were going to live after they died. And that was like a big thing
attractive
for me.
To you.
I was like, how do you know for sure? You know?
Yeah.
And then the sin question came into being because I knew that I wasn't perfect, but I didn't think I was going to hell necessarily.
Right.
Because I wasn't a like murderer or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was okay and I cared about people and loved people and such. but I didn't realize that my goodness wasn't good enough, and that Jesus died on the cross to save me from my sin. So it wasn't the 5 boys that led me to Jesus, but it certainly helped when it came to raising
They kept
them.
you running back to him.
Yeah, they kept me in prayer to this day.
Yeah, right.
In prayer.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, for me, I was curious for a long time.
Yeah.
And then for me, it wasn't like just this aha moment or anything like that, but more so that just more and more curious. And then Kenny had a major injury, and we were down and out.
Yeah.
And so when you're, really low, where do you look? Well, you look up.
Right.
And that's when we really started to, we said, we gotta go to church. So it was a slow process for us, but definitely our eyes were opened.
Yeah. Well, my advice to anybody that does hear my voice, whether it's live or in a recorded version, if you wonder if there's eternal life, ask God. He'll show you. If you wonder if there's a God, ask him to show you.
For sure.
He will show you.
Yeah. That's what I did. I kind of was like, gosh, there's a lot of people in my life that seem to know things. They know things about the Bible. I want to know things. So for me, at first, it was like, I just want to know stuff.
Yeah.
I want to know what they know. And then God just flipped that completely over. And then I learned it was more about the Holy Spirit than it was about knowledge of the Bible.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Here's one. How do you keep your love life spicy with the kids at home?
Well, the kids at home. Yeah, this was probably a question that came at the event that we did with a bunch of younger families, young moms. And it is hard when you're raising a family, when you're in the middle of that season of life, it's hard to do anything, especially if you have 3, 4, 5 kids. You're going in many directions. I think the key, and now you're celebrating your 31st wedding anniversary today, and Ron and I will be married 35 years in July. I think the key to a long-lasting marriage is to carve out time for your spouse, regardless of the craziness and the chaos of family life. And I remember back in the day, it might only be a few minutes that Ron and I would get to really connect, to talk even. Forget intimacy, just having a connection on how was your day or something like that. And I forget what we called it, but we had some kind of a thing where we told the boys, like, this is our time to talk. And we called it like quiet time or some kind of a time. And I don't know if they really listened very much, but we tried, Yeah. And then we did date nights too, because you've got to keep all of that connection going. It's not just about physical intimacy, it's about emotional connection and caring and all of that. And then the physical part, well, that comes natural.
Well,
just figure it out.
Yeah, in terms of how do you keep it spicy with the kids at home, I don't know during those years if we were really spicy.
Yeah.
Right. We were just like, just trying to be intimate, and have time for that was a thing.
Yeah.
So for us, I don't know. Like with spicy. Oh, I forgot Kenny's listening to this.
Yeah, he's been. You get home.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Encouragement that I would give to anybody in that season, and I did give it to the moms when I was talking to them, in that live event. But I would just encourage them, if you're going through a struggle in your relationship, communicate to your spouse about it. Try to be open with it, even if it's something a little bit embarrassing, or like if you're not feeling fulfilled in a particular way, communicate. Kenny. She's listening. Text her.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this next one, it's very similar. So these questions, they came up a lot, as you know. How do you keep the romance alive? Well, spend time together.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Being a mom, I feel like I've lost my sexy. Well, we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially, but I think it comes back, when the kids are gone or when they're, how was that loud?
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, whoops. Did something happen?
I don't know.
Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have different seasons in life, and it is a beautiful season, the empty nest situation. There's a lot of challenges with it, too. Like right now, you're going through it with your aging parent. You know, your mom is very ill, and you have to deal with all of that. Your daughter's getting married. My son got married 2 years ago. You know, we have these things that happen, and when our kids are adults, that's a whole new set of scary stuff.
Yeah.
Things can happen that you're like, oh no, little kids, little problems, big kids, big problems, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, I just think that you have to hang in there.
Yeah.
You really do.
Right.
Okay.
Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
All right. How do I not feel guilty about living my life when my children are grown?
Well, I don't know, because how would you answer that? Because I don't feel guilty at all about living my life when my children are grown.
I don't either.
Okay.
And I'm actually seeing a counselor about a bunch of things, and we talked about the word guilty. And guilt is when you actually have done something wrong.
Right.
And then you have remorse over it. Whereas, like this question says, how do I not feel guilty? Well, to be honest, you should not feel guilty about living your life when your children are grown. That's not a guilt thing. You might feel, what's another way to say that? You might.
I don't want to say bad, because you shouldn't feel bad, but it's tugging at you because you still have that invisible umbilical cord. Yeah. Sure. But I'm sure that there are ways you
can incorporate, your grown kids into your life, but you can still live your own.
I mean, there could be negative emotions around the empty nest situation just by mere fact of the whole time that we're mothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're nurturing, we're caring, we're trying to fix things. We're active. We're like active duty military, We're an active shooting range, whatever. And then all of a sudden you kind of retire from that role and your role shifts. And now your kids are independent. Or maybe they're sort of dependent still, but they want to be independent. That can create a lot of little potholes as well.
Yeah, just keep the doors open, because they always want something.
That's true.
They'll call when they need something, or when they have a question or things like that. Yeah. Just always keep the communication lines open.
Yeah, and therapy helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true that. Okay. Let's see.
Do you have any advice for dealing with man-child people?
Man-child, like a grown man who acts like a child. I'm guessing that's it.
I think so.
Probably like those early adulting years.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law gave me this advice when my first son was entering his 20s. And she said, he's going into the tunnel. And she said, it's dark in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll come out, but it probably won't be until he's like mid-20s or after.
Yeah.
So if somebody's struggling with issues with a man-child, like he's a full-grown man, but he's not, the male brain does not totally firm up until like 25 or later.
Right.
And that's the tunnel, I think, that Claudia was talking about.
Yeah. I had somebody tell me something very similar in regards to her daughter. And she said, it was as if a spaceship came and took her daughter before college. Yeah. And then after dropped her off, and she was a completely different person.
Yeah.
Just matured while she was away. And
that happens a lot to people in the military.
Yeah.
We have a lot of growing up to do. You think about kids that graduate from high school.
Mm-hmm.
Your whole life until you walk across that stage and turn your little tassel over and, throw your hat in the air or whatever. Your whole life is very structured. You go to school, you're off in the summer, you have a summer job, blah, blah, blah. Now all of a sudden you're out in the real world. You're trying to figure out, what do I do?
Yeah.
Where do I go?
Yeah.
There's a lot. And you have to make a lot of choices. Do I go to college? Do I go to trade school? Do I go to work? Do I go to the military?
Right. Yep. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
In what ways have you struggled in your Christian life?
What ways have I struggled in my Christian life? I have always struggled with regular quiet time.
Okay.
You know, like I'm really good if I'm in a Bible study. If I am connected to accountability, I really do great. But just on my own, to have my own quiet time, I do it, you know, but I struggle with it. And I have bouts where, okay, I'm going to do this. I can set everything up and make it all cute, you know, put a little blanket there and a cup of coffee and all that.
Yeah. Well, the very first thought that I had regarding this question is I'm struggling right now.
Yeah.
I'm really, really struggling right now with a lot of things. It's not just discipline and quiet time. I mean, I do still have quiet time in the morning, but I am very distracted and I'm not as structured as I used to be in terms of like a devotion. I mean, I definitely have prayer time, but I'm not getting my Bible out and things like that necessarily, or even on my phone. Also, I'm even just struggling with like, you know, faith stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, questioning things and stuff like that. So that's, you know, it just happens. But at the same time, I still have a deep faith in God that He sees it all and that it's not over. He's working on it and all those things. But but it's still a struggle.
Yeah,
for sure. Without going, you know, too deep into that, we'd be here forever. Let's see. Okay. Oh, here's a good one.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing to do when you have time to yourself?
I remember how I answered this when it was asked in the live setting. I was embarrassed to answer it, but I answered it honestly. I like to watch pimples being popped.
Oh, yeah.
I like to watch the pimple popper.
It's right.
So relaxing to me to watch a big gooey pimple come out, you know. I know there's something wrong with me. I used to chase the boys around when they had acne.
Yeah.
I would chase them. I'd be like,
let me my gosh.
And they would be like, get away from me.
Ew, that's nasty. Although I have my little things too.
You watch earwax.
I like to see earwax. But not on TV.
Oh.
I mean, you know.
Right.
Like,
in real
if
life.
There's a little kid sitting on my lap, which there never is nowadays, but like, and they have wax in their ear and I can see it. Oh, I want to get it out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But
yum.
My favorite thing to do when I have time to myself, it just depends on the season. Like if it's nice out, I like to be outside and just putz around with the garden or just look at it. Yeah, that's when I have time alone. I think just to sit in quiet.
Yeah.
Maybe look at my phone, to be honest.
Yeah, and honestly, it changes, right? Like, because right now in the season that you're in, just to have some peace would probably be a nice reprieve.
Right.
From all the decisions that you've been making and all of the work, you know, of getting your mom here, there, and everywhere. So
yeah, I just like to numb my brain with TV, to be honest. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's get this one. What hobbies does your husband have?
My husband has hobbies of work. He goes to work every day. He loves NASCAR. He loves to watch NASCAR on the weekends. We're very involved and active at church. I wouldn't call it a hobby. I just call it a life, you know.
Yeah.
What else does he like to do? He does a lot of projects and stuff around the house.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he has helped those boys with their cars, their 5 cars, you know, every time there's some kind of engine light on, they're calling him. Dad, the engine light's on.
Good old Dad.
Yeah.
Good old Muffin.
Yeah.
He's good at that.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Kenny, as far as hobbies, there's a lot of things that he likes to do when he's not working, and those are usually like projects. He likes to, you know, honestly, that is such a good question. He likes to do things that make him feel like accomplished, and then he likes to tell everybody, you know, like, oh, look what I made, or look what I did. Yeah.
Kenny is filled, since he's listening, hello, Kenny. He is filled with a lot of trivia.
Yeah.
Like, he's really good at it. Mm-hmm. Surprised me when we were on our road trip to Florida and we were doing trivia.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah. He did that again, too, when we were traveling. Yeah. It was something that popped up. It was either something we were listening to, and I was like, I wonder if that was really true. Oh, I think it was that Phil Collins song.
Night said something like, I wonder if
Night said something like, I wonder if that's really true about the story. Do you know the story?
No.
Well, that song, In the Air Tonight, and he says, I've been waiting all this time. And anyway, the story goes that during that performance, the person that was guilty of such and such was taken away and arrested on stage. Idea. Anyway, Kenny's like, no, that didn't really happen. That's a myth. I said, oh, how do you know? Anyway, let's see. See, there's so many romance questions here.
Really?
Yes. Oh, here's one. Okay. How have your friendships changed over the years?
Well, when we're small, we're friends with our classmates or our fellow volleyball players or cheerleaders or, whoever your neighbors are and things like that. So I think it's a proximity friendship. Who's in proximity to where I am, and who likes the things that I like. And then as we get older, I mean, that's how we met, was proximity, was, I became your next door neighbor and we became friends. But I still have many friends from college. After I got out of high school, I was very tight with about 6 other girls in high school. I liked everybody in high school. I mean, I really did. But we didn't see each other much after that, because I went to college and different ones didn't. And, they split up and whatever. But I'm still friends with them.
Yeah.
We connect on Facebook and we had a little mini reunion, not too long ago. Mm-hmm. And college was another thing in terms of like, well, who's here and who likes to do what I like to do? Yeah. A lot of Christian friends. Church is a great community to build friendships.
Right, for
sure. Our
sure.
small group friends, our church peeps, they're there for us through life,
Yeah. Yeah, I would say mine haven't changed, but grew. Yeah. So, my good friends from when I was
really young are still my good friends. Mm-hmm. But
just like a snowball, you can just accumulate
more. But and then when you have kids, and then you do become sometimes friends with
the parents of the your kids' friends, things like that. But I just like to have a few good ones.
Yeah. One of my your bestie. Right. One of my dear friends who actually introduced me to my husband. Her name is Patty. She just retired from her teaching career, and so she texted me, like, let's go on a girls' trip, and so she's going to be more available now to do things because she's not tied to,
a job.
A job.
Right. Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you pointed out too, like church, your church family is so special, and that's a good way to.
It is. It is. Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Right. Okay. What are we still going?
Well, we're right around 33 minutes, so let's just pick a couple more.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We'll wrap. How do you manage the role of being a mother and a wife when you have time to spend, or maybe I should say, when do you have time to spend with your husband? Kind of talked about that, but we can expound because that's the question I picked.
Yeah. Well, wife and mother, they're very important roles to the family. Honestly, there's different times when, your various children or your husband or whatever have different things that they need you to do.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like if you have a sick child, you're going to be tending to that child, for sure.
Right.
But I think I was criticized for this once by somebody that just didn't think that it was the right thing to do, but I think it is. I think it's the right way to go about it, to put the marriage first.
Oh, yeah.
I think that husband and wife come first. Mm-hmm. Marriage first.
Right.
Kids second.
Right.
Now, like I said, there's times when the kids are going to need something that you can't be like, no, dad needs me now.
Right.
Your kid has a fever.
Yeah.
And that's not just, I'm not just talking about like this intimate part of marriage, but I'm just saying in general, I think if the mom and dad commit to each other as a couple, that is the best gift you could give to your children.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Yeah, the kids are watching. The kids want their parents to have the bond that they imagine in their minds.
They do.
You know? And when they see that it's not happening, that things start to fall apart.
Yeah, and when kids are made the priority, you know, your kid is not your friend. They're not your friend.
Well,
you know.
And I just don't think it prepares them for the real world, you know. Yeah. I mean, definitely your kids are your world for sure, but your husband came before the kids. Yeah. So there you go.
Now, your kids can the relationship can change and they can become like a friend. They're still your son or daughter, you know. But when they're little, they need to know that, you know, the marriage is very important.
Right. All right, one more.
This is it, folks.
Okay.
2 people listening. So listen.
Mine went away. I can't see it anymore.
Yeah, Kenny's still hanging in there. And then
is he?
FVIEYKV.
Okay. All right. After realizing you are getting in a rut of life, what's your best next step to get out of said rut?
Okay, you just described it, really. You just said that you're kind of going through this kind of, I'd call it a rut.
Yeah,
right?
I would too.
You said you're struggling with spiritual matters. Yeah. And, you know, you've got a lot on your plate, but look at what you're doing. You're still engaging with your church family, with prayer, with the Lord, with Bible study, with small group. You're going to a counselor. You're getting professional help to give you some insight and some guidance, you know.
Right. I'm getting out of bed.
That's a big one, Cathrine.
Getting out of bed. Check. I'm doing, you know, I'm making dinner and planning the day out. And, you know, that's something.
It is something. And I applaud you and Kenny for taking carving time out to go away
for a day and to relax and celebrate, you know, and then come back refreshed. So.
Yeah.
Hey,
that was fun. I hope that
2 guests
keeps it. I didn't feel so prepared. Did you?
Well, I mean,
you think people can tell?
How do you prepare for? I mean,
well, like the questions.
The tech part of it, is kind of what it is. We're just learning and growing.
We're just. What is it? One 2 broke girls.
We are.
You know, they're just struggling in life, trying to.
We don't know what we're doing. Nobody thinks we do.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to share a scripture.
It's true.
Matthew 21, verse 22. And it says this: if you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. You know, because this show was about asking questions. And it really, the bottom line, like a lot of, like the questions that you have there in front of you are from, I don't know, 3 audiences. So let's say it's 100 and some people or something that were there, 100 people, whatever. They all had different questions. They all had different problems, concerns. They want information. They want encouragement. They want hope, right?
Right.
The number one source of hope is God Almighty. He created us.
Yep.
He's the creator. We are the created.
Yeah.
He knows us. Mm-hmm. We can trust him. We go to him. He's gonna meet us where we are. He knows that we're a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And he loves us.
Yeah.
And the scripture says he loves us so much that he died on a cross for us to save us.
Right.
So that's our call to action today, folks. Go and ask God. If you have something that you're questioning, you're doubting, you're wondering, go and ask God. Seek God. He'll show you the way.
All right.
All right. Well, you've been listening to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm still comedian Tracy DeGraff.
I'm still Cathrine.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.